Guys, yo, first of all, this show is brilliant. It is absolutely amazing. I got to say, Hugh, I'm a big fan of Taylor Sheridan's work and your work. What inspired the mayor of Kingstown, and what can you tell me about the collaboration process and working with Taylor to create the show?
Taylor was my acting coach. When 15 years ago, I'd moved to LA. I just finished a movie called Down on the Bone that got me to Sundance with Vera Farmiga, and Vera said, you should go to LA. And I had drug issues and also I was in and out of rehab 15 times. And so I landed in LA. Taylor's going, dude, you could do this. And he started coaching me. And in that, we'd put the work aside some days because we would procrastinate. And we talk about dreams and perseverance. Well, what would you do if you really could do something? What kind of show would you make? And I'm from a town that had 9 penitentiaries. My mom was a teacher. My friends had, their parents were guards. I had other friends whose parents were convicts. And I'm from this town. It had a medium, Millhaven, a maximum security, a minimum, a prison for women. And so Taylor and I would just get really intense and lost in these conversations. And he could literally deconstruct any world characters. This is before he wrote anything. And I was going, this dude is a force of nature. And he helped me with my career. And, he coached me on shows. And then 10 years ago, we had the script. And then I thought we were going to go. And he goes, dude, I just sold Sicario. And then I've got Wind River. Come and be in that, meet Renner. And then I'm shooting Yellowstone. And then let's finish this. So it's a series and I'll sell it. And then we were lucky to cast it with these killer actors. And we got Tobi to play Bunny. And Tobi's like, he's just a force of nature. It's just exciting to watch him. I'm behind the monitor and I'm watching. And Taylor allowed Tobi to ad lib and bring stuff to it. And that's why I can't say enough about Taylor, because he creates the world on the page, but then he creates this environment that is so creative for the actors and for me, as a co-creator and a producer. He just believes in you, and that is something that, and it isn't a corporation. It isn't a room of writers. This is one dude. Taylor Sheridan.
Absolutely. And Tobi, that I actually do want to talk about Bunny. He's one of my favorite characters on the show. He kind of sees the game within the game. And I feel like Bunny relates to these guys probably more so than you would think. How does he view Mich and Mike?
I think that there's a healthy level of respect for that Bunny has for Mich and Mike, in the sense that if you look at the town, if you look at the environment they're in, it's almost it's a very heartless environment. So nobody actually cares. So if you have someone who is willing to cross over and come into yours without any malice, or without any ulterior motives, and they're doing that just because they care, because they don't have to do that.
Sure.
Bunny is somebody who understands that and resonates that, because I guess at some point in his life, Bunny must have asked himself, I could do something else if I really wanted to. I could leave, but he's got family holding him. He's got family, and I don't want to say he's anchored, but there is a personal responsibility there. This family is who he is, and so he resonates with that, and that's what allows him to respect and acknowledge the McLuskys.
Absolutely. Now, Hugh, you also play Ian, which is one of the detectives on the force, one of the cops there. Can you talk to me about how both of the brothers are kind of viewed within the town, especially something like the police force?
Well, it goes back. There's all three brothers. And in my real life, I grew up playing road hockey with, the Mulrooneys or the Callahans and their families of brothers. And so we brought that to the show. I understand that dynamic. I grew up with these dudes who did grow up to be cops and did grow up to be prison guards. And, I grew up to be a borderline criminal until I was 30. And so but you still, when you see these guys, you have that rapport, because you don't take each other seriously. You can't, you have a familial disrespect. And so with Ian, he has an old great relationship with Mich, and Mike is the middle brother who's his own dude. And the younger brother, Kyle, played by Taylor Handley, is the newest member on the force. So he becomes his partner, and it's all, there's a loyalty in there. And in nobody started out to be bad, but there is an ethical drift. And in that is still in cases that loyalty that you had as when you were kids, that is unspoken, but would be pretty hard to break.
Absolutely. Well, look, the show's fantastic. And I love that you said there's that moral drift there, but because that's really the center of the show. But thank you guys so much for your time. A brilliant show, and take care. Thank you very, very much.